It looks so weird without our Mothman back there.
Yep.
That's all right. We're making progress upstairs. So that's the important thing.
I searched, and here's what AI says. Yes, you can loop background music you add to Riverside using the media board by clicking the loop button, which is beside the play and pause button.
That's not.
And it says that's according to Riverside's documentation.
Well, I'll look it up. I didn't see there was no button that said loop because I looked for it specifically. But I look for it. I liked how that sounded behind it. I like how, especially when we're doing the narrative part of it.
If they do have a loop, I mean, I can do what you said. It won't be a big
Yeah.
issue, but it would require you for every episode to look and see how long the episode is to go take this and trim it and then insert it, which is a lot more work than it should be. Does that make
Gotcha.
sense?
Yeah. Well, I just think I was working with Grok today, and um, it actually evaluated a couple of our episodes, and it said one of its recommendations to make it a better sounding episode
Background.
was background music.
What is Grok?
That's X's AI. That's Elon's AI.
One of his.
Huh?
He's got more than one,
Well,
or at least different names.
that's the big one.
Well, you saw the
It's
one-
fun by Colossus.
uh, I forget, and maybe it was just a nickname. When he was on the Joe Rogan show, he had one, the one that cussed like a crazy. Did you see any of that?
Mhm.
We talked about it some. I think it was when I was talking about his sense of humor. He's got a
Oh,
middle
yeah, yeah.
school boy sense of humor. He's got an AI. Uh, Now it's for them. They've not released it public. They probably never will. And that thing cusses like a motherfucker.
Mhm.
You'll ask it something, it's like, you stupid son of a bitch. What the fuck were you thinking? And he's sitting there playing it for Joe Rogan. He thinks it's the funniest thing ever. He's literally got a high school boy sense of humor.
So I told you that Ed is on board for our trip. I even told him he could come if he wanted to and hang out. I don't. He's planning to be on Florida in Florida then. So if that changes, he may join us.
I
Oh shit! I was looking at my.
Don't let me forget to talk to you about our banner.
Oh, okay.
It's got a
Oh,
loop.
oh, okay.
I found the loop button.
Good.
It's right beside the play button. It's got two arrows that point like this.
Okay. You don't have to turn around because you're going to hit your mic like you always do, and it's going to blast my eardrums. I'll trust you.
It's right beside the play button, literally.
Okay.
That should take care of that.
But is it? There's a difference between being beside the play button and being where I can move it.
You can't move the button if that's
No.
what you're asking.
No, that's not what I'm saying.
What are you saying?
When I install it into the episode, once it's over here, that loop, unless it, I'll have to look at it. I'm not.
Right here, I've got crowd clapping highlighted. There's a play button right beside that. It says enable loop. So I would assume if you enable the loop and hit play, it'll play until you stop it. And when it ends, it would just loop and play it again and play it again.
Hey, what if that would work?
I started to order the banner today, and the prices actually went down. Can't beat the price, $23.99.
Oh wow.
In my notes, it said 27, and I don't know if that was, tax and all, but in my notes, I had a link to it and it said 27. But I went to add the file and I found the email that you forwarded to me from Kylie. And what you did was forward it and it had the attachment. And that attachment is a very small file. And when you pull it up, it's small. It's not going to stretch to 6 foot wide without being severely distorted. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
It needs to be in a high resolution, I think. Ask Kylie, send her or just if you could find that message and respond to her and say, hey, we're thinking about making a banner, a 6 foot wide banner. Is this of sufficient resolution to stretch to 6 foot wide? And I don't think so. Could be wrong. She knows far more about this stuff than I do.
So I'm going to do the Flatwoods Monster, Jerry, and the second one is something very local. The Northfield Pigman in Vermont.
Mine's a little bit further away.
Yeah, I saw. It's like in a different. It's overseas, right?
Russia.
Yeah, I thought. We go do some of these dogs. Back when we get started. All right. So show me where now I'm here. Show me the. Oh, I see what you're saying.
What?
On that.
Here's the play. There's enable loop.
I don't have that on my screen.
Just pull up media.
No, not had that.
Can't imagine it would have a different screen for me than it would you. Once you click it, it's
Okay.
plug it. Here's your pause here. If you hit this, it'll just continue. It ends, it'll continue looping. I would assume is the way it works. It should be that way.
Okay.
That will save you a ton of work instead of having to figure out the exact length and cut and trim. That makes sense?
Mm-hmm.
Should be easier.
Okay.
But if you need the other, I can do it.
Well, what can we do to eliminate this?
The squeaking?
The squeaking. I tried to oil them. It didn't work. Graphite, maybe?
I don't even know if that would. Is it very loud on the episode?
When there's nothing else and it's just us talking, you can hear it. It's obvious.
But if it's not loud enough that it's aggravating, to me, it's one of them things that's just kind of homey. You know
Okay.
what I'm saying?
Okay.
Maybe I'm wrong.
No,
And I think it'd be hard to get rid of it total. I think you'd, yeah.
Wait.
Something I do not understand is sometimes why I have such feedback and sometimes I have none. And I have none today and I haven't muted shit.
Weird, isn't it?
I mean, look, I'm not muted. My mic's not muted. You normally have to mute everything. Now I muted my mic, but there's no difference. There was no feedback before. There's my
Interesting.
mic unmuted. I don't get it.
I don't either.
But I'll mute just in case. Who knows? Have we went live?
Yeah, we're live on Twitch. Just
Cool.
'cause.
Say what?
We're live on Twitch.
Gotcha. Booger, eh?
You got that?
McFarlane?
He's
Booger
such a
McFarlane. I like him.
he's a
I'll
good
take that.
he's a pretty good dude. What do you think about the draft coming up?
I haven't. I was becoming more and more, or I should say, less and less of a sports fan.
Really?
Yeah.
Why?
I don't know. Part of it is my biggest favorite has always been college basketball. And when they changed the rules and allowed name, image, and likeness, to me, they have probably destroyed the sport. Uh, it's no longer collegiate. It's no longer amateur. These guys are making millions and millions, and they're going to run from school to school to get the most money. And to me, that is just the antithesis of what college athletics should be all about. You're going to have very little loyalty to teams, and you're seeing that. Have you seen the numbers of the number of people 5 years ago that would transfer from school to school? The numbers last year when they first started this crap, it just exploded. And this year, this upcoming year is puts last year to shame.
Yep.
There's no loyalty. They're just going to go wherever the money gets.
Do you blame him?
But here's the deal: if that's what I want to fool with, then I'll just go watch pros. They're much better. So if you're just playing for the money, let me watch the good guys. You know, you're not the good guys. You're the ones that hope to someday get to be good enough to play with the good guys. That's called that's called the pros.
What's going on here? I'm so sorry. Terrible. Trying to fix Brett's shit here. And all of this. I will be so glad when we're in our new studio and this stuff doesn't have to switch around every week and it's just there and it's all wonderful and blah blah blah. Oh yeah, that's nothing.
What was that?
I messed that all up. There we go. Better? Yeah.
Much.
Whew. Sorry.
No, you're fine.
Oh, I know, but still sorry.
But are you wonderful?
No. Ah, the wonderful. No, I am not. I am not.
You automatically know what I meant by
that. Oh, bother. All right. Oh, I know what I was trying to do. I've got those two up.
I think that background music will be good when we're quote unquote reading shit.
Well, that's what I mean when we're doing our narrative.
Yeah.
That's and when we're
I've got a feeling tonight might be a good one for background music when we're going through the cryptids. When we're sitting here debating stuff back and forth, I don't know that's would help.
That's exactly what I did on this last episode. When we're doing the narrative part of our dialogue, there's background music. As soon as we're done and we start debating, you know, whatever the issue, like I said, with say we're debating, I do a monologue on Modelo beer.
Yep.
While I'm doing the monologue, the music is playing in the background. As soon as I'm done and we start debating the merits of Modelo and it being the best beer available,
I agree with that.
Then that music goes away. Just takes a little more editing on my part, but like tonight, I didn't wait to the end to do it. I did it before you even got here, and it was already done and ready to go, which makes it a lot easier.
Sure.
Before I've had 4 or 5 Modelas, or you know, a glass of wine or 2 or 10
or a bottle.
So that's what I was thinking anyway.
Makes sense to me.
Grok was pretty insistent on the couple of on the that was one of the keys that came up a couple of times was just some theme music, if you will. So I thought that was a good idea. Next week is a cool week.
For what?
Not in 2 weeks. We're doing Gobekli Tepe. I'm so excited. It'll air in 2 weeks. Next week we're actually doing it. So
now, how are we doing this one different from last time?
Well, first of all, there's a lot of new information that we didn't have last time. Like the finding of a brand new site similar to Göbekli Tepe about 2 miles away. That's even bigger than Göbekli Tepe. So we'll be covering that. We'll be covering how it's changed science, I think. Because before Göbekli Tepe, science believed that we've only been around and civilized for 6,000 years. Now we know that's not true. It's more like 25,000 years, which is a huge number considering the
You
short.
thought it was 6,000?
Most people before Göbekli Tepe, when you went to school, our civilization started 6,000 years ago.
Could be wrong. I think the 6,000 is religious based.
No, that is what you were taught in high school.
I wasn't.
Okay.
I mean, I just wasn't. I
Okay.
was taught caveman going back tens of thousands of
Yeah,
years.
cavemen. Civilization is what I'm talking about.
Well, I mean,
there's a difference
you
between
didn't go from civilization to this overnight. So it was a gradual process, but it didn't start 6,000 years ago, is what I was taught. I'm not saying I'm right or wrong. I'm just telling you what I was taught in school. You look so puzzled. With what?
my original statement was scientific and science taught that civilization as we understand civilization to be started. Writing basically is when they account when we stopped being nomads, when agriculture started, was 6,000 years. That's all I was saying. Yeah, humans have been around longer than that, but writing started 6,000 years ago, and that's what
didn't know
most
you were
people.
referring
Yeah,
to writing.
sorry, I was
you're
confused. Anywho, and I may be wrong on that number. But this is really driving me insane. This has to go away. This screen right here is stupid. Issue: picture-in-picture mode closed to maintain recording quality. And then it has an X for me to X off, but when I go to get to the X, it disappears. It's really frustrating.
That's literally what I was telling you last week.
Yeah, is that what it was?
And I had to shut down Riverside and restart it.
Because it wouldn't
There's
go
an
away.
X in the upper left.
Yeah.
And every time I move it, the X goes away.
Yeah. Ridiculous.
Yeah, it wouldn't go away. But maybe there's another way to get it to go away. I had to actually restart Riverside.
Not that that matters to me really that much, but it's there and it's annoying. I got enough things on my screen I have to look at without looking at that. Oh, man. Also, just for the record, if any of our listeners is any way associated with Heavens to Betsy here in Lawrenceburg, Kentucky, we need you to reopen ASAP.
That'd be nice. We do,
and I'm not even a huge fan, to be honest. It's okay. I mean, I enjoy it, but it's the fact that it's fresh and it's different than most everything else in town. It's a chain restaurant and not so fresh.
Huh? Oh yeah. I thought you were saying it's a chain.
No, I'm saying that it's so different because it's not a chain.
Yeah. To me, it's not just different; it's far better. To me, there's nothing else in this town approaching the price that is anywhere near as good a quality. Bluegrass Sabor would be the closest, and it probably has better quality, but you pay considerably more for it.
Yeah.
For $10, $11, there's nothing in this town. I mean, we paid $10 for chicken,
greasy ass chicken
from Lee's famous recipe tonight.
Right.
For another $1, you get Heavens to Betsy, and it's.
See, that's what better. I like. I can't. For the life of me, I don't know why McDonald's and Burger King are all still open.
I agree.
For an additional $1, you can drive 20 minutes up the road and have a real meal at Chili's. That's far superior to
5 or 6. No, probably 10 different things you could go to Cracker Barrel and get. Yeah. All of which are far better than any of the restaurants you named. But in addition to the burger joints you named, there's the 15 pizza joints in town. I don't see how we keep these places going. I really don't.
I don't either. Especially the chain ones. Like, I mean,
you pay more for Craft House, but you get more.
I don't like Craft House. I'm not a fan.
I do.
Do you?
Well, better than Pizza Hut and those. Is it worth? I mean, it's way more expensive.
Yeah.
So is it worth that? I'm not saying it is. I never get pizza.
Yeah.
I'm not a huge pizza fan. I get it some, with you, and I don't mind pizza, but yeah. Again, I'm just saying I don't know how these places stay in business
Right.
when you look at the options that are a few miles up the road and better.
Yeah.
Hell, in the time I told you, I spent 10 to 13 minutes waiting at Lee's. I could have driven to Frankfurt in
Right.
that time.
Yep. Yep. You sure could have. Mm-mm-mm. Crazy, crazy. Oh.
I'll tell you one thing, Trump better get his tariff shit figured out.
Think so?
Dude, in the last 6 weeks, I've lost 35% of my investment. So, yeah, this shit keeps up. I'm going to have to take my ass back to work. Like I said, he better get this shit figured out.
He said, I'm going to have to go back to work.
Which means Trump got to get this stuff figured out.
Oh.
But when you think about it.
Dude, speaking of going back to work, I thought of you the other day. I was in Ollie's, and we both have talked about how we enjoy Ollie's. It's one of our favorite
I was
stores.
there a few days ago.
Yeah, it needs you. That store was trashed when I was up there. It was so bad. Like, so bad. I was like, oh, they've had a management because there for so long, it was very well ran.
Must have been just a rough day because I was there, I don't remember, within the last week. I think it was Thursday or Friday of last week. And I remember thinking, this looks better than most Big Lots looked back in the day. And it still ran like an old Big Lots.
Yeah.
That's why I was making the comparison. And I thought it was ran well the day I was there. Now, early in the day, which always helps. It doesn't matter if you're doing your recovery late at night, early in the morning. When you open at 9 o'clock, it should look decent. And I was there like 10 or 11. It looked pretty good, I thought.
I don't remember the day we were there. Robin and I were together and we were on the bike. So it may have been a Sunday because we went up and had lunch in Frankfurt.
Oh, so it wasn't late either.
No.
It was lunch.
No, it was
at
after
that time.
lunch.
It shouldn't have been trash.
Dude, it was trash.
I mean, if it's late on a Saturday, you're like, oh, okay, you had a busy, rough weekend. I get it. Early on a Sunday, I don't know. There's no excuse.
I want to say it was Sunday. It was the only day I can think of that Robin and I would have been on the bike. Maybe Saturday afternoon we went up. It was Saturday. It had to have been the weekend because we were together on the bike. So
yeah,
I don't remember. We went up and had lunch at Penn Station, which again, one of those restaurants that's far superior to any fast food. It's fresh. It's good. Same money. They freaking make the French fries in front of you. Yeah. But yeah, I just, oh jeez, crazy. Got a good episode tonight. I'm really kind of struggling for a bonus story though. I thought about doing that one. The problem is, I would really kind of like to cover that in a regular episode.
You haven't told me what that is.
Oh, Stonehenge.
We have talked a little bit about it a couple of times. We've talked about doing an episode just on it, and it certainly probably deserves it.
Yeah, I kind of think so. So maybe I won't do that on our bonus, and we will. Why is it when somebody dies, they're now considered specimens?
Didn't know they were.
Weird. Yeah, we'll do that. All right. I'm gonna run to the restroom, and I guess we'll get started. Sound good? I think we'll just do the one tonight.
On the cryptid.
Yeah, I think so. Is that okay with you? I really want Brett to be here for the other one. Huh? Jerry, what's it like?
Been so good looking.
Well, being so awesome. I don't know about good looking.
I'm telling you.
What?
I've been telling you.
What?
Update the eyeglass prescription. You don't think this good looking, you got a seeing problem. And that's saying something coming from a man that's blind in one eye and can't see out the other.
All right. Let's stop this. And I'm going to go ahead and close down, Jerry, and come back in so I can get rid of this stupid screen.
You go right ahead.